go. Okay, God, I tell you, I am having such a shit week. I'm glad it's come to the end. Anyway, I'll tell you what happened. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll know that I caught some sort of infection, and on Monday morning I woke up with a face that was like out here, and got antibiotics for it because it's a skin infection, and all I'm left with it now, I'm still feeling like shit, but all I'm left with it now is that, can you see that ugly spot there? Can you see it? Yeah? Bad mirror face day, innit? And look at my hair. My hair's gone all frizzy. I tell you what that is, right? Static. Because like when you get about in a wheelchair, you seem to build up static. And then like you go to touch something and it's like, oh fuck, it really hurts. And like your hair, well yeah, you can see what happens to your hair, right? But yeah, I think that's just part of wheelchair life. Yeah? Keep some rubber gloves on or something, because it fucking hurts. Look at my hair. Anyway, 2019, we made it. We're all here. All here together now and ready to start afresh. Are we? Why wait for the last 2 digits of the date to change? That's what I say. You can change the date. The date changes every day, doesn't it? You look at your calendar, you look at your phone, date changes every day. You don't have to wait to the end of the year and the beginning of the next to make changes. No, you do it now. Every day is new. Every hour is new. Every minute is new. And that's my philosophy of the day, folks. So, 2019, yeah? I'll raise my mug of tea because I can't have anything stronger because I'm on these bloody antibiotics for this ugly little fucker that's ended up on my face. Anyway. And then right, on Wednesday night, bloody coldest night of the week, and my heating packs up. But of course, like, I got this nuclear explosion thing going on in my face, and I was like pillar box red. So I was like keeping warm just from the heat from my big face that night. I was like warming my hands up. You know, oh, shoulders cold. Oh, couldn't get my feet up there though. That's why I have really cold feet. Do you know, right, even the cat, she took advantage of me. Oh yeah, I'm sitting there watching the telly, freezing cold, wrapped up in all these blankets, this glowing hot face, and she comes up and she's like, right up to my face, like, why isn't the radiator working? And there's this bloody cat in my face all night. Tell you, talk about taking advantage. I love her though. I love my cat. She's on the bed at the moment. Can you see her? There you go. Yeah. Heating's back on now. She's happy. My spot's fading. I'm getting there. So anyway, Happy New Year to you all. So yeah, when you've got a disability that is a progressive type, like which I have, you have to make changes all the time, really. Nothing ever stays still for long, and you've got to adapt as you go along. It's like 5 years ago, I could walk the high street of Cardigan on crutches. I was a bit wobbly. I risked falling, and it was a bit painful and left me a bit breathless, but I used to be able to do it. And then as it got worse, I thought it's just not worth the pain anymore. So what I did, I talked about getting a wheelchair. So went to see my GP, and he said, yeah, you know, that time is going to come that you're going to need this wheelchair. So I thought about it, and I thought, okay, we've got to kind of think positive now. It's not the end. People get about in wheelchairs all the time, you know. It happens. So I got all my hopes up, and I thought I could take up a sport. I could get one of those really really funky kind of wheelchairs that you see the Paralympians have, you know, with the big metallic wheels, and and the little seats, and they don't really look disabling, do they? They look like, hey, I am so sportsy, I sport, you know. And people have this like perception that if you're a wheelchair user, you're good at sport. It's the new Rain Man. It really is. Remember Rain Man, if you're old enough to remember that film, about an autistic lad who was fantastic at maths. And everybody then sort of went round asking people who've got, you know, autism or children on the autistic spectrum. They were saying, like, are they good at maths? Or are they good at art? What do they do? Is it art or maths, or is it spelling? Can I spell? And then, like, we get the same sort of thing. So I know how it really pisses people off. Because, like, we go, people are sort of like, so what sport do you do? Like, huh? Anyway, I went to my physio and told him all this. And I sort of, like, had a look round to see what kind of sports I might feel would be for me. But nothing really took my fancy. So I thought, what about wheelchair ballroom dancing? Now, many years ago, I used to be a dancer. Showing my age now, do you remember Hot Gossip? They used to be on the Kenny Everett's programme called Kenny Everett's Naughty Bits. Yeah. Thank goodness that social media wasn't around back then. I was not in Hot Gossip. I was in a group of dancers who were trained by one of the members of Hot Gossip, who was too short for telework. So, and me, I was too fat for telework. I'm not talking about like I was big, you know, dancing around the stage, but I wasn't like that thin. I sort of went, you know, like that, and I got a bum and I got boobs, and you know, I'm too nature shaped, you know, to do ballet or classical or anything like that. So I used to do jazz dance, which is, I guess it's now the equivalent of what you might call street dance. You know, when you see like the rap artists and there's those really hot ladies with all the, you know, with like, you know the thing, you know what I mean, street dance, but back then we called it jazz dance. I'd never tried ballroom. It was never one that really took my fancy. I always thought it was a bit weird to be stuck to somebody, you know, where you put your arms around each other and you're stuck to a person and you go floating around the room, you know, to the music. It's like not very restricted. It takes my breath as well. Very restricting it must be. I mean, yeah, respect, they do some pretty fancy footwork. But ballroom dancing, why are you stuck to somebody? Where does the freestyle come into it? I don't mind a bit of salsa. Salsa's cool. Cha-cha-cha. Because with that, you see, you can dance it on your own, or you can dance with same gender partner, which ballroom dancing, I suppose they do. But it's not what you see, is it? But when you're in a salsa class or a salsa club, it's fine that you see men dancing with men and women dancing with women. It's like, yeah, cha-cha-cha. Yeah. So, salsa I don't mind. But anyway, back to the wheelchair ballroom dancing. I thought it might be an option, you know. Shit. Ice Cream Man. Anyway. Yeah, Ice Cream Man. I don't fancy one. Way too cold today. So yeah, wheelchair ballroom dancing I thought would be really cool because I could get myself like little sparkly dresses and I could have some stick-on floaty eyelashes, maybe a little tiara, you know, it's like, and I could get myself a tan. Not quite sure how I'd get on a sunbed these days, but spray tan I suppose, you know. Anyway, I went to the physiotherapist and he said, no, he said, I'm sorry that you won't be able to have a self-propelling wheelchair. That's the type where you do that, to move yourself along. He said that my arms would never last if I had one of those, and it would compromise my breathing. So, this turns up. Let's show you my wheelchair. It is called, and I know this is like really taking the piss now. This wheelchair is called the Salsa Mark II. Yeah. And I've got lights on it to jazz it up. See? This is what turned up. Whoops, got to get back into space now. So yeah, the power chair turned up. And I thought, oh, it's not very Strictly. It's not very sporty. It's more Stephen Hawking, isn't it? It's a bit of a piss on my parade. But you know, it gets me about. I love my wheelchair. It's my freedom. These are my legs now. I mean, like, some people, and I don't blame them, because I fought against using the wheelchair for as long as I possibly could. I did not want one. I don't want one. Don't want it. But I considered getting a scooter. Now, lots of people around Cardigan use scooters. You see them taking up all the fucking pavement in town. Yeah, you know who you are. You park it outside a shop, right? On these little, tiny little pavements. We've got tiny little seaside pavements here. And very few road dips for us to cross over. So they park their scooters outside a shop. And then, like, they get up and they hop, skip and jump into the shop, you know. And I can't get past because they're blocking it with their bloody great big scooter. And I'm like, oi! Move it, you can walk. I tell you, there's such a division sometimes again amongst the disability community, which is really sad. But I do find it quite funny. It's like, sometimes we like to play, my blue badge is bigger than your blue badge. So yeah, mine's bigger. Move your scooter and let me get past. I can't walk. Can't walk anymore, not at all, no. So anyway, you know, these, like, I tell you what, we've got like these gangs around here of pensioners, and they're all like in their 80s, even 90s, some of them, and they have these scooters, and like, you're going along town and you'll see one coming towards you, dazzling headlights, it's got a bloody horn on it, you know, big handlebars, and it like blinds you with the light, and they're coming towards you, and you think, where am I going to go? I've got no pavement. There's a great big bloody motorbike coming towards me. And then, like, you get closer, and it's like a Harley Davidson, this thing that they're... And then there's some, like, little elderly gummy man, and he goes, all right, love, you want to get one of these, you know. 8 miles an hour. 8 miles an hour. Ha-ha! Speedy! And off they go. I know. The division is dreadful, isn't it? We should all come together and accept each other. We've all got our disabilities, haven't we? We've all got to work out a way of doing it somehow. So anyway, yeah, don't fear the wheelchair. Well, I'm scared of the scooters. They scare me. Or the elderly people that come for me. Yeah, the gangs of Hell's Angels round here on their scooters, you know. They are scary. But yeah, don't fear the wheelchair. It gets you about, does your... it's the way it is, isn't it? I hope you've enjoyed listening to this. And I do apologise if I've offended anyone with a scooter.